Hi, beautiful soul. Let's talk about codependency. If you're watching this video right now, you're probably somebody that's like, why am I experiencing so much codependency with my man? Why do I hear all about it on TikTok and videos? And for some reason, I can't really understand what to do about it. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you can do to move past codependency as somebody that dealt with deep codependency in my past. So I hope you're ready for this. And if you're here for the first time, hi everyone, my name is Joanna and I am here on YouTube, honestly, just starting this channel. And I want to bring all things feminine energy, inner work, spirituality. I'm actually allowing myself to just do it messy, as these are some of my first videos here. And there's so many limitations and things that show up where it's like, it needs to be perfect. The lighting needs to be perfect. I need to have all my stuff with me. And right now I'm actually traveling and I don't have my camera with me. I'm using my computer camera. I don't have my typical lighting with me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm currently choosing to step into this newer timeline version of myself. And what would she do? She would get on this video and she will record this like if she had millions of subscribers here. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm taking you on the journey with me. So if you aren't following me just yet, go ahead and subscribe, like this video. It will totally support me, and I promise you that the content coming your way is going to be so freaking powerful and so transformative for you, especially if you're a woman that's wanting to connect more to her feminine energy and create a really nourishing love life. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So codependency, I dealt with this for so long, and there are still little bouts of how this shows up in my life. But because I have the awareness of it and I know where it comes from, which we'll get into, I'm able to look at it with awareness and actually do something about it and not let it completely take over my life. So what I mean by that is the reason why you're probably codependent is because you most likely had an absent father or an absent mother. And I'm talking here to the woman that had an emotionally unavailable mother or father, whether they were present in human form in your life or not. Truth is that most of the generations now, including people my age, anywhere from 28 up until 40 and older, we had parents that really didn't understand how to be there emotionally for us. This is something that now, with the age of information, we're coming home to more of, right? Like more people are understanding what emotional regulation means and tapping into your emotions and learning how to actually be vulnerable and express your emotions. But if you're watching this video, you probably had a parent that was not emotionally present. And so then what did this create inside of you? This created this belief that I need to work really hard for connection. Because as a child, if you weren't receiving that connection from your mother or your father, you probably believed, okay, what do I need to do? You created this belief of like, I need to do something to earn their love, to earn their attention, to earn their presence. And so now this might be translating over in your relationship with a man this might be translating over in your relationship with your man or with a man, or even in your dating life, as this means of needing to overly do to gain their love. What do I need to do to gain their love? What do I need to say to look a certain way so that they love me, so that they finally love me? And so this creates codependency, because what is happening here is you're outsourcing your sense of power onto somebody else. You're thinking about who you need to be for them. You're not thinking about who you need to be for yourself. What kind of energy does that create? That creates a really contracted energy, because if you're thinking about it, all your energy is going onto this person. What do I need to be for them? Energy out of the body, leaving you drained, leaving you exhausted, leaving you contracted, leaving you confused. You don't even know who you are. What happens when you shift to who do I need to be for myself? Energy is no longer externally focused. You are filled with life force energy. Life force energy is the most powerful energy that you can have as a woman. It is your feminine energy. It's what allows you to become very magnetic, what allows you to attract things to you rather than chasing things, right? So when you're in this energy where you're fully in your own essence and you're like, who do I need to be for myself that feels just so nourishing for me? What are the things that I like to do? Who are the people I like to hang out with? What are my passions? What are my creative outlets? What are the things that bring me so much freaking joy in my life? When you get clear on those, write these down. When you get clear on those, you start bringing your energy back into yourself. You're not worried about who you need to be for anyone, whether, we're talking about relationship here with a man, but also like for your job, for your career. You don't need to worry about who you need to be for anyone. That drains your energy. That's why you're exhausted. That's why you're tired. Come back home. Come back to yourself. Get to know yourself. Come back into the body. The body holds your soul. It holds your essence. It holds who you really are. So start coming into that and asking yourself, who do I need to be to bring the most joy and excitement in my life? When I started asking myself this question, what happened was I started to no longer be available for men that were not an energetic match to the energy that I was cultivating within myself. So an example of this is I went from being somebody that was like, who do I need to be for this guy to like me, for him to actually give me attention? And I would, I went through this stage unconsciously of like thinking that I needed to like do things physically, like I needed to get my lips done so that he finally likes me because those are the types of girls that he likes. This was with one of my friends in the past. I need to dye my hair a certain way because those are the girls that he likes. I need to look a certain way physically because those are the girls that he likes, right? This codependency towards like, what is he like and how can I become that for him? So distorted. So distorted. Right? And so when I started asking myself the question, who even am I? For me, for Joanna. And that energy started to come back in. I started to realize that I was no longer even attracted to that type of person that I thought I needed to be something for. Because that person, if they didn't like me for who I really was and weren't giving me the attention that I wanted in the first place, then they weren't the person for me. That's not an energetic match now to what I believe about myself, which is that I'm freaking incredible. And that I'm magnetic and I am powerful and I am enough just as I am. And if somebody can't match that, you're no longer in my field. You're no longer in my reality. That is you stepping into your power, owning who you are. And it's really funny what happens because you start to actually feel no longer attracted to these men that you want and to gain their attention. So going more into this when it comes to like how this translates over from your childhood. We're always seeking for familiarity unconsciously. So if we're not doing the deeper work to understand ourselves and the reason why we choose certain partners, we're gonna keep recreating our childhood experiences. So you're gonna keep recreating experiences where you are codependent onto somebody. And typically when you're codependent to a man, you're codependent towards a man that's emotionally unavailable, that doesn't support you in feeling safe, that doesn't protect your emotions, that doesn't honor you as a woman, because you're not doing those things for yourself, and life is a mirror. Life is a mirror, in case you didn't know. Right? So you're always going to be seeking for familiarity. So if you felt like you had this energy where you really wanted your dad's attention, just like I did for my dad, but instead he would come home drained from work just to watch TV, and little Joa was like, wow, like what can I do to gain his attention? Right? You're probably somebody that as a child you started to rebel or you started to talk a lot. That was me. I was talking a lot. I was just like trying to get his attention and he like wasn't fully present. So in your future, what can happen is that now you're in this place where you're trying to seek this person's attention so much. You become codependent to how they perceive you. And it becomes really hard for you to have a sense of identity and of who you are, like we kind of covered a little bit, right? So then your whole identity, because you don't know who you are and you're not strong in that, and because you didn't have a father figure, maybe even a mother figure in your life to support you in creating your own sense of identity, now you get into a relationship or you're dating or you start connecting with this man, and your whole identity becomes them. Your whole energy drains from your system and becomes, your whole energy drains from your body and attaches to them. So then when he's not texting you back, you get anxiety, because that same fear of abandonment that you had in your life, in your childhood when you were abandoned, right? You get anxiety. You start questioning yourself because you're not strong in who you are. You start to doubt yourself. You start to feel like, what do I need to do in order to continue to gain this person's attention? And the difference between that and being deeply empowered in who you are is that if he doesn't text you back and you know yourself, you might feel a nervous system trigger come up, like, oh, wow, that created a little bit of anxiety. But you know how to breathe through it and connect back to your truth because you've spent enough time doing the work. This is what I help my students with, doing the work to know yourself, so that when something like that comes up, which is a trigger from a past experience for somebody that had an abandoned or an emotionally unavailable father and mother, in that moment, you see and feel the visceral sensation of that trigger, you honor it, and then you tap back into, well, if this person doesn't want to be in my life, I'm not going to force them, because I am enough and I love myself so much, and I'm not going to abandon myself. And that is enough for me. I've got me. Whether he's part of it or not, I know I've got me. And I know I'm saying this, and it might be something that you take in and you're like, wow, I really want that. And I just want you to know that exists. It takes work. It takes devotion. It takes embodiment. It's my passion, embodiment. And if you commit to the work and you commit to owning yourself, that codependent nature will start to slowly dissipate, because your sense of identity will no longer be placed on somebody else. Your sense of identity will be placed within yourself. You are the center of your universe. Everything else moves from that place. You are the main character of your movie. This other person coming into your life is just one of the other actors. What is it? One of the other characters. But you're the main character. And so if that person comes into your life, they're here to add more to what you already know. And that creates security within yourself. And you feel secure in who you are. So when that person comes in and they add to your life, it feels so freaking good and nourishing. And you can also notice when somebody comes into your life and they start to drain your life force, and you realize, no, that's not in alignment with who I really am. And so this person is not adding to my life. It's not adding to this deep, beautiful, nourishing love I've cultivated within myself. Boop. They're not allowed in my field. I'm not available for that. That's my boundary. So that sense of self, that identity, knowing who you are, being embodied in who you truly are from within, will allow you to have stronger boundaries so that you're not being codependent, will allow you to have a sense of identity and of who you really are, and move from that place confidently. So it'll increase your confidence. It'll increase your magnetism as a woman, because you'll start to attract things, experiences, people, circumstances that are an energetic match for that power that you feel within. So if you're dealing with codependency right now in your life, my biggest invitation to you is to shift your energy back to you. Go take some time to be with yourself. Go attend a women's retreat. I have a women's retreat coming up in Sedona, and I have many retreats coming up. Go attend a retreat where you're leaving that experience of your day-to-day so that you can connect to yourself. Take yourself out to the park every day and journal. Be with yourself. Get away from the situation that you're currently in, right? Do movement practices. Get into your body. Feel your power. Feel who you are. Pray. Pray to God, source, universe, to show you the way. To be like, I am ready to connect to my sense of power. I'm ready to connect to who I really am. and allow yourself to be guided and supported through that process. You have to ask to be able to receive, right? Ask for support, invest in yourself, invest in a coach, an embodiment coach that can support you in getting into that. I have my Wildly Devoted Embodiment Academy that is a perfect, beautiful 13-week school that will allow you to connect back to your own sense of power so you know who you are and you're no longer in these codependent tendencies. Because the thing is, you might notice that there's codependency showing up in your relationship with a partner or with a man. But the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so that codependent nature might also be showing up in your work, in your relationships that are like your friendships, in the way you relate to social media. Maybe you're very codependent to social media, right? It will show up in so many other ways. Maybe you're codependent to food and your health is suffering because of that. There's so many ways that codependency shows up in your life. The main one you'll probably notice and people mostly talk about is in that dynamic with another of the opposite sex. So you have the power. Just because you've been feeling it up until now does not mean that you don't have the power to change it and to shift it. You have a choice. And so there's so many people here on YouTube and TikToks and Instagram trying to tell you that these are the steps that you need to follow to stop being codependent. But there's only one step. There's only one step. Connecting back to your body, to your essence, to who you really are. And I give you some of those tips here. So if this resonated with you, if you are feeling some activation inside of you, like this brought something up for you, I'd love for you to share it in the comments. Like I said, I'm here growing this channel, super, super excited for the unfolding journey of this. I just want to share my magic. Thank you for being here as part of this experience as I grow. And I'm so, so, so excited to build this community. I see this community being so big, filled with so many powerful, beautiful, embodied, conscious women who are deeply connected to their bodies, who are attracting healthy, love, and nourishing relationships. Because truth is that this work, starting with ourselves, is gonna change the way that the world is for future generations to come. I am here to change relationship paradigms, relationship to self paradigms, and relationship to other paradigms so that we can create healthy households for our future children. That is the legacy that I'm here to leave behind. And that is something that if you can get behind, if you care about the future of your children, of our planet, then you need to start doing the work within yourself, because we are here to create change in this earth. And in the way that these chaotic households were when we were growing up, we're here to change that and create healthy, loving environments for our future children and for ourselves. That's how we create change. So go ahead and comment below anything that came through. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to this channel, and there will be more videos coming for you. Mwah.